Okay, hello. This is Clink Podcast. Clink. Today's subject is history. I don't know much about history, so this intro is difficult to start. And again, we may have been drinking before. I'm ill. Hello. You're not ill.
Ill. Who ill? I'm Dan. You're ill.
My name is Ill.
Ill.
It's an elven name, clearly.
Elvins. But we're talking about elven history.
Oh.
We're not doing that.
we need
not happening.
we need reference books for that.
Okay, we're doing history.
We're doing history
because we enjoy history.
I
What?
I don't know much about it,
No. Okay.
but it's one of your top testicles.
Kind of. Yes, to a point. Only to the point that I was going to teach it.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking big, man.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessarily because what all teachers do, which all teachers will tell you, is that they research a lot about it the night before they're going to teach it. Beauty of teaching, you've only got to be one step ahead. But on the subject of history, the reason I love history so much is because I had really good history teachers.
Oh,
and I think the only reason that people don't like history is that notoriously history teachers are really shit.
Mine used to get drunk in the cupboard.
Well, yeah, that's kind of happened as well, but that's that's quirky, isn't it?
He stunk of whiskey.
Yeah, was it? I don't want to put his name out there, but was it Overend?
I don't know what that.
Mr. Overend. His name was his last name was Overend.
I think his name was something like Mr. Smith.
Yeah, they're all Mr. Smith. Every Mr. Smith's a drunk.
Agent Smith.
But either way, in secondary school, I had a fantastic history teacher called Mr. Davis, Warren Davis. If you're out there, holla. And yeah, he was wicked. He was really excitable and used lots of hand gestures and got really excited. And then for GCSE, I had a really good female history teacher who was a fucking lunatic. We had her when she was pregnant as well, and she was out of her fucking mind. But she cared so fucking much about Franklin Roosevelt's New Deal that it is drawn into my fucking mind forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever.
Okay.
As well, like, it was fucking amazing. She was so intense about it, and we were all terrified of her. We were all just like 15-year-old boys with this screaming pregnant woman. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then
would have been welcomed.
It's out of her fucking mind. But she was so passionate and so knowledgeable. It was really, really interesting. And then at college, I had another really, really passionate history teacher called Nigel Forster.
I didn't know you did history at college.
I did, yeah, I did it at A-level. It was wicked. Modern history, so he was really into. We did a lot about the uprising of the Third Reich and Hitler's sort of like Hitler's rise through the ranks and like the beer house puts and stuff like that.
No, you lost me.
Okay, it was basically how Hitler basically got a lot of people behind him and the uprising of the National Socialist Party and shit like that.
Okay, can you explain beer house puts?
Basically, Hitler got on a table and did what Hitler does. He's like,
in a pub?
Yeah.
Alright.
It was basically just a massive sort of thing where he sort of basically said everyone get, like, they had a socialist meeting and Hitler sort of was a big part of it, was really, really passionate about it. And he literally climbed on a table and did Hitler's like a famous speaker. Like his rhetoric's like, almost unrivaled.
I've never even looked at a translation of them. I've obviously heard the old propaganda videos and stuff.
Yeah,
but I've never actually looked at a translation.
It's
Are they disturbing? They sound disturbing.
No, well, not necessarily. You know, they're just enthused. And he puts a lot of passion about it, and at a time where a lot of people were very, very reserved, especially politicians, it came across as very, very... Well, he just spoke to people. And that rhetoric and that way he speaks to people and that way he delivers his message was really, really powerful to people. Not pro-Hitler, but...
Oh, is that not what this podcast's about?
No, that's
Damn
not.
it.
So close to throwing a Nazi salute then. I'm really glad I restrained myself.
So basically I don't really know much about history. I have there's little pockets where I've found a lot of intrigue and interest in, but I hope to learn quite a lot this evening from you, basically.
Well, I feel like you may be woefully disappointed because I'm kind of drunk.
Wow, cool. Let's pick a nice place to start then, or a horrible place.
What?
Let's pick a nice or a horrible place to start.
All history's kind of horrible, and that's kind of what I like about it.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't really remember the good stuff.
Yeah, no, we don't. Most of history is made of bad shit that good shit has come out of. We are currently living in the good shit that history has come out of.
Yeah.
That has come out of history.
Yeah, but I mean, probably even living, in other times, they probably thought that too.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I mean, because I suppose the idea being that at any point you live, there was progress made from having your head fucking caved in with a rock when a saber-toothed tiger was going to bite your face off.
I don't think it's a war if it's against a saber-toothed tiger.
No, it's a really shit fight. You're definitely going to lose. But
thing is, they got
the war for survival.
Does saber-toothed tigers exist? I don't think they were very.
I think saber-toothed tigers exist.
I think they were more like household cats.
They definitely weren't like they weren't like Power Rangers. Right?
Yeah. They weren't like mammoths.
Yeah, they weren't like
but tigers. They weren't like tiger mammoths.
No, I definitely don't think that was a thing.
Yeah. Okay, well, I mean, there's lots that I would like to know more about, I guess.
I really liked the dark bits of history.
It's all dark, isn't it?
A lot of it is, but a lot of it gets...
It's a really difficult thing to talk about history, because history is everything.
Yeah, that's the best. That's the beauty of history. People.
But we're mostly thinking about wars here, aren't we?
I like the wars. I like talking about the wars because wars are a story, and wars are.
And good things come from war.
Yeah.
Obviously, World War I and II produced some of the biggest advancements in medicine that have ever...
Absolutely, for better or worse, maybe, but...
Surely better. Medicine's good.
Kind of.
Hospital's good.
Yeah, but there was a lot of really dark shit that happened.
Alright, let's go into that then. You want to go into that now?
So Operation Paperclip would be the big example of that, I suppose. Yep. And what essentially that was...
Do you want to go further back before that and talk about what the Germans were doing before? What the German and Japanese scientists were doing before?
The Japanese were probably the most notorious for it.
Yeah. Obviously, Paperclip is an American project.
Yeah. Okay. So Paperclip was the end where they basically took all the research that all the Nazi scientists were doing, and made a deal basically with them, saying, right, okay, so we're not going to try you for war crimes. Instead, we're going to bring you over to America, and we can use your research at this point for our own advancements. But I think the darkest one was I think it was Unit 42. It is unit and a number, and I'm pretty sure it's... Should I
Jamie it?
Yeah, Google that shit, young Jamie. Bring that shit up. And that was a Japanese experimental unit where it was mostly biological and almost entirely on human prisoners of war.
Unit 731?
That might be it. 731? That definitely is.
Unit 731 was a covert biological and chemical warfare research development unit in the Imperial Japanese Army.
That'll be it then, Unit 731. Okay, cool. Yeah, now I say that sort of rolls off the tongue a bit easier. But
Unit 31 rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, beautiful. 731.
That's our bingo.
But they were literally researching things. It was mostly about what the human body could endure, and they were researching torture methods essentially, and how far you could go with a person through burning them, freezing them, cutting them apart, blood loss.
What kind of toxins affect the body in what ways?
Yeah.
Making new toxins.
How many body parts you can lose by still staying alive.
How much blood. Did you already say that?
Yeah.
How many horrible things can we think about? Loads.
Yeah, it was really...
They also did lots of stuff, about like super soldiers and stuff. They try to genetically enhance or modify people.
Yeah.
This is where a lot of like comic book stuff came from.
Yeah, and a lot of this was about using stuff that we knew were toxic in different ways and applying it to different body parts to see what would go better for it, what would do it better. And so we're talking about they made them inhale mustard gas directly, and they used to apply they made an incision under the ribs and applied mustard gas directly to the internal organs to an alive human.
What did that do?
Killed them, shockingly. Fucked them right up.
Yeah? I don't actually know what mustard gas does.
I know, well, fucks them up, that's what it does.
Ammonium chloride, right?
You could be right in that, I couldn't tell you.
I think so.
But, yeah, there was a lot of really fucking nasty shit that went on, and it was, again, sort of, I suppose, at the end of it, kind of used for advancement, because then, you know, they learned a lot of information about how certain compounds affected the human body and whether that maybe could be used for good or for bad.
Yeah, I was actually talking about like field medicine, the good shit, not the
right.
not the horrible experiments.
Oh, wow.
But either way, there were advancements made.
Well,
but yeah, go into more. So yeah, there were Japanese and German scientists working on this stuff during World War One and Two.
Yeah.
And then at the end of World War Two, America was like, "Hey, we'll not kill you.
Yes.
If you give us all your research.
Yeah.
And keep working on it."
Yeah, and that was basically that was what Operation Paperclip was. It was a withdrawal of scientists and other people that were involved in it that should have technically been tried for war crimes. Although that's
back
kind
then,
of
they just would have been shot on sight, really.
Well, no, you wouldn't try this. You know, I mean, Nuremberg was a thing at that point. Like, you would have had a trial, but yeah, the consequence would have been death at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Either way, you were kind of fucked. Yeah,
shot on sight would have probably been better.
Well, I mean, that's what Hitler took. Not shot on sight, but you know, shot poisoned himself.
Shot himself, didn't he?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of weird
yeah,
shit,
well, something. No, he's still alive, isn't he? Flat Earth. Let's not go into that yet.
Elvis and Tupac living on an island. They're all just bros.
Living on their flat island.
We're all living on a flat island.
Oh, come on.
Surrounded by the ice wall. Oh, this never would happen if the Nazis won.
Yeah, well, we wouldn't be alive.
Controversial. And well, yeah, I mean, it's like the idea, everything's kind of interlinked, and that's why I like history, because it's always it's a continuous narrative. It's like a giant Game of Thrones, and it's always happening. And
there's a lot of time skips between
no, there's not a lot of time skips. There's no time skips because it's all interlinked.
But we time skip around the bits that we are interested in.
Yes, we do. We do that, but only because we're looking at it retrospectively. We're currently in history at the moment. We're all in 10 years, 15, 20 years time, we'll look back and go, do you remember that time we fucking, those mad cunts actually fucking got a reality TV star to be the President of the United States? And everyone will go, oh shit, that was weird.
I'm thinking that would probably be in a couple of 100 years.
No, it won't be in a couple of 100 years.
Weird
that's going to happen in
trolls.
50 fucking years. 50 years maximum. I bet in 30 years I'll look at like the Trump era. And then we're looking at 9/11.
Devolving like already, though.
What do you mean devolving?
Oh, I just don't feel like we're getting better. Well, we might. It's fine. Obviously, really? Once Elon becomes the supreme
President Elon, yeah. Hi, Admiral Elon.
Yeah. I love you, Elon.
Fuck
Here's
that.
my Jesus.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
No, sorry. I just wanted to know a bit more about Paperclip.
So what about
what happened? So what's happened since? What's been documented since?
Well, that's the shady thing. Not a lot. The idea is that it's kind of an Area 51 sort of vibe around it. It's not massively publicised because the Americans didn't want to necessarily push.
No, forward. It came out years later. It came out during the
Cold War, late 60s.
Kennedy administration, right?
Yeah, late 60s. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so during that point they were speaking about Paperclip and how it was sort of what actually happened with it, but the actual results of it were never really disclosed. All we knew is sort of that the Germans were miles ahead as far as rocket technology goes. So there's a lot of talk about that with NASA, because they had the V2 bomb, which was like the automated. Well, they called it a doodle bug.
That was the first like intercontinental
remote
missile, right?
Yeah, that wasn't manned.
Yeah.
So it was like a rocket they fired there and that landed in the UK.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, which was fucking unheard of. I think that like the World War II was the biggest example ever of civilian casualties during a war. There's
the Blitz and stuff.
Yeah. Because
air raids.
Yeah, because wars just before that. I mean, fuck.
Before that, it was trench warfare.
No, World War One was cavalry warfare at the start.
At the start, yeah.
The French rocked up in fucking horses.
I know. We were talking about this the other
day. And they
day.
lost because
swords.
The fucking machine gun was just invented.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, the Gatling gun's been around for about 400 years.
What?
Hasn't it?
The Gatling gun?
Yeah.
What? An automatic weapon? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, like a hand revolving Gatling gun.
I'd be sceptical.
400 years obviously is a huge exaggeration.
Clearly, yeah.
But since about the 1800s, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure the first example of an automatic weapon was early 1900s, because that's why the French rocked up with. Like literally Napoleonic fucking.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, when we were talking about it the other day, I didn't know that, which is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't actually know what I'm talking about, but I seem to remember something about a revolving Gatling gun existing years and years ago. But there's also loads of stuff. There's automatic weapons with like with arrows, isn't there? There's automatic. China had automatic crossbows, didn't they? Years before.
Did they? I'd be surprised. That sounds.
It was on
very strange.
Mythbusters.
Was it?
And they made it.
I mean,
it was an unbusted myth. I'm pretty sure.
Alright, yeah. I mean, I'm down with Mythbusters. I've not heard of that. I mean, I'm just trying to get the idea of the difference in time period that because of so people think of World War One. They think of the trenches, and that's obviously really iconic, but. In that same war, they had horses and tanks.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
In that same war, like literally in the beginning to the end of it, there was people rocking up in cavalry with swords and high feathered fucking caps.
What was the
and tanks?
What was the first tank battle? That big one that happened. It was the one where tanks first happened. I
don't think there was a big first one because tanks originally weren't weaponised. They were literally just armoured people carriers, and
they also had horse-drawn guns as well, which were like tanks but not armoured.
Yeah. The horse-drawn one was more like it's just a fucking like a cannon on wheels that was drawn by a horse.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. That was what I don't think they necessarily were considered tanks at that point because we're talking about the same time that cars were barely a thing.
Yeah, well they were, they had carriage wheels.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden they've got tracks, and that's that is one of the good things, if you can call it sort of a part of war, the advancement, the arms race. They've got this, so we need to have something that beats this. Now they've got this, and then this to and fro-ing of this constantly moving forward, and nothing moves technology forward than war.
Yeah.
Nothing. There's nothing that.
Nothing has happened.
Yeah.
Especially local, recent history. That's. Yeah. Apart from evolution, there are obviously big pockets.
Has evolution happened recently?
No. But what I mean is, there are big pockets in the history of evolution that have sped up evolution greatly.
Like
genetically,
brain size and shit like that.
Yeah. That have obviously not been to do with war.
Yeah.
But as far as technology, war has made breakthroughs the quickest because you have
to. Gigantic thing. It's the competitive element and it's the resources that are thrown into it because of this arms race. Because
and also, as I said about field medicine, they developed so many techniques just having to keep people alive on the field that have been reproduced and made better now today. And a lot of that stuff.
Which is one side, but also then you've got the other side of the people like Russia that we've sort of touched on earlier, which is just throw human suffering at it until you win.
Yeah, I didn't know I didn't know that. Sorry, we had a little conversation beforehand.
Yeah. So
we had a little chat about Stalingrad and.
Yeah, one of the big things about almost sort of the running, well, I don't want to say a running joke about World War II, but it's about sort of like invading Russia in the winter was a big mistake.
And running away.
Yeah, and running away. Well, and the sort of retreating, but the fact
too cold.
Yeah, well, it was fucking too cold, but we spoke about obviously the gigantic numerical advantage that Russia had, but they had a massive resource disadvantage. They literally did not have a quarter of the things that the Germans or anyone sort of fighting on that side had. They were so depleted in resources. They barely had uniforms. They had one gun between 5 soldiers, roughly. Their technique was literally to flood them with numbers. It would be like you were like talking about fighting 100 fucking people to one, and they just run forward at you. The ones at front would have guns, you'd shoot them down, but the ones behind would pick up the guns and then keep on going.
Yeah, and then once you killed a few Germans, obviously you get more guns.
But yeah, that was one of the Russian things, because the German guns were better than the Russian guns,
and they'd also revamp their tanks, wouldn't they? They'd steal the German tanks and revamp them.
Oh yeah, the whole sort
Weren't
of...
all the Russian tanks German at one point?
Well, the Russians didn't have tanks, so yeah, it was
they did.
It was all reacquired.
Yeah.
Russia was a really weird superpower to be fighting against, because they were a superpower literally because they were fucking massive, and they had all the resources... sort of oil-wise and like natural resources there. So
they had money.
Yeah, but they had no infrastructure.
Yeah,
because they were so massive.
And it was cold.
And it was fucking cold. I suppose that didn't help. Like, that must have sucked. But like, cold makes tough fucking people.
Oh, for sure.
Like, look at
Vikings,
UFC fighters and shit
like that. Not many Vikings in the UFC, but.
There's one fucking Viking in the UFC. Fuck, Emil Meek.
Is that the dude with the fatted bitch?
Oh no, I think you're thinking. Oh, are you thinking of the referee?
Yes.
No.
I'm still waiting for Big John versus Herb Dean.
No, it's never going to happen.
But it would be sick. Well, obviously Herb would mess him up.
What?
Herb would mess up Big John.
How do you figure?
I don't know. He just looks hard.
Why?
I don't know. I just reckon.
Herb's had MMA fights,
yeah.
But John's a second-degree BJJ black belt and like a cop. Like, Big John's not to be fucked with.
Oh, alright.
Plus, he's definitely bigger than Herb Dean. Who'd choke slam him?
But jiu-jitsu doesn't work.
I've seen that fucking video.
So jiu-jitsu does work. I've been choked loads of times.
Google Emil Meek. I'll show you. That's a modern-day Viking.
Sorry. We went back to
the hardiness of Russians.
Martial arts. Like, just please. I need a wee-wee.
Okay, I will allow it.
Thank you.
Good.
Have fun.
So outside of school, once college and that finished, I sort of didn't really follow history that much anymore. Well, following history is a bit of a fucking muggy thing to say, because it's not like it happens every week. It's not like catching up on a series. But I didn't study it, I didn't pay attention to it, and I didn't really dig any deeper. I sort of followed the sort of the top notes of it. And there was a fantastic, once I got into sort of listening to podcasts, Joe Rogan rides the absolute nuts of a guy called Dan Carlin, who does a fantastic series of podcasts called Hardcore Histories. And what he does, he takes segments, sections of history, so World War One being one that I really, really loved, and Mongols being another one. He's done fucking loads of them, and they're massive. They're giant series, probably about 20, 25, 26 hours long, and he really digs deep into them, and the way he presents them is like a story, and they're really, really, really engaging, and it gives you loads of background to it. The World War One was called Blueprint for Armageddon, and that goes into how World War One started, what were the trigger points for it, and then actually goes into how World War One went on. So it doesn't stop at the start of World War One; it carries on going through the entire thing. Tells you what happened. Goes into a lot of information about the big battles and the main sort of turning points for it, political influences and so on. It sounds quite dry, but it's fantastically entertaining the way it's presented. And then I think my favourite one was it was about the Mongols. It was called Wrath of the Khans, and that was something that I've never touched on in my education. But yeah, the Mongols was rad. Really, really interesting history, and it's fucking brutal.
It's 1 in 200 people
directly
alive
descended
today.
from Genghis Khan, or Genghis Khan, apparently is the way you actually say it.
Is it? Yeah.
Genghis.
1 in 200 people share his genes.
Yeah, I think it's 1 in 80
wild.
in China.
Yeah, did a lot of fucking in China.
Oh, it's insane. It's
Man, that guy must have fucked a lot.
The legacy and the fucking savagery that guy left behind. I can't believe it's not. Thank you very much.
Butter.
Sorry. I can't believe it took me so long to actually even learn about really. Obviously, everyone kind of knows who Genghis Khan is. Everyone's heard the name.
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan.
The old Jenga.
But yeah, everyone sort of like knows, he's a fucking savage, but no one knows what he fucking did.
I think I probably learnt about him through Age of the Empires.
Yeah, and it is shit like that sort of that brings it up, and yeah, there's the bringing.
You watched Marco Polo?
Yes.
Yeah, it's good that.
Yeah, that was is that Subutai?
Oh, I don't know.
Subutai Khan, his grandson.
Someone like that.
Yeah.
He's a Khan.
Who was Subutai's son? Fuck, I can't remember. Fuck, I'm too
I watched it a long time ago.
Marco Polo is brilliant, really.
But it was very good, yeah. I haven't watched season 2. I've had it downloaded for about 3 years but not watched it. But I will.
But,
Blind Chinese martial arts master.
Yes. Oh, he had that wheel, Thousand Eyes. He had that separate thing.
Separate, like a feature length.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was like a 1 hour long job.
An hour minute, yeah.
Hour minute, 1 hour minute.
Yeah, it's good that. I like that. He was a rad character.
He was a rad character, yeah. Bit over the top probably, but I liked
it. Yeah, for sure. Well, so just stereotypical.
He's very
blind,
Mr. Miyagi, wasn't he?
martial artist.
Yeah, he's rad. Obviously,
I'm blind as fuck, but I can fuck you all up with the sword.
You don't know. You don't know.
Did he have a staff? He probably had both.
Yeah, it was shit. It was his hand, like, took his eye out, put on the end of his finger, twirled it around like a basketball player.
Perfect.
But yeah,
you want to move on to Genghis Khan then?
I don't care where we're going, but yeah, Genghis was a bad man. I like the okay, so the Mongols were obviously originally from Mongolia, shocking. And there was it was the.
Just do your throat singing. Very good throat singer, this guy. Oh, you've lost it, mate.
Oh, sorry, I got it. Matching. But yeah, basically they were from so it was in Asia, obviously at the time. It was a really fucking tough place to live. They called it the steppes, and Genghis Khan had his time where he brought himself up. He wasn't called Genghis Khan. He wasn't born Genghis Khan. The Khan was a sort of like an emperor status that he put on himself.
Yeah.
And I think it was something to do. It was ruler of all that sleep under canvas. Was something like the rough translation of it. So the idea was that he wasn't just the ruler of a certain place. It was like, if you sleep under fucking canvas, I'm your daddy.
Right, okay.
And they
all those dreamers sleeping under the stars, they were free men.
Yeah, well, consider as far as they consider as free men, ready to be fucked up by the Mongols.
You sleep on a canvas now, or you die.
What? You're about to canvas now.
I did not do an Asian. I did not do a Pan Asian accent.
Fucking Pan Asian accent. You're not Mongol. Fuck you.
Man, you're projecting your racism onto me.
Speak to me in your liberal terms. I'll Mongol the fuck out of you.
I don't see in front of canvas.
Well, soon, mate.
I will soon be homeless. If anyone wants to let me live in their basement, hey.
This might not be the best advert for that.
Hey, we're nice guys.
So the Mongols, the uprising of the Mongols in the time where most people were very military minded. Formation was the big thing at the time. Whenever you fought in formation. You see in a title like Age of Empires, where you have your tight lines of people, and then you have your cavalry come around the edge. Mongols weren't about that shit. Mongols were all on horseback, bow and arrows. That was their bag, and they fucked people up with it. The way of fighting was described as like fighting a swarm of bees. Because they would literally come out, no formation, they would fucking swarm you. They'd go amongst your ranks, and they'd be super fucking hard to hit because they'd be on horses. They're master horse riders from the age of like fucking 2 years old. They'd be on the back of a horse.
They do the old, they stand up on the horseback and fire the bows.
I think that's a myth.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure that's bullshit, but they did work out a way. They had ways of firing arrows. They had a ring, and it had a hook on it. So rather than hooking a bow with your two fingers, you hooked it with the ring.
Yeah.
And you fired it, like, you pinged it out, but they used to be able to fire it while the horse was running. So the problem with riding, like, firing a bow and arrow while you're riding a horse...
I thought that was the point of standing up a bit, because then you got the sort of...
yeah, but standing...
not standing, but you got a bit of suspension by, like, having a foot up or something.
The theory is that the technique was they used to fire it while the horse was mid-air. Because when horses run, there's a point where all four hooves are off the floor. And they used to time it where all the hooves are off the floor, and that's the point they'd fire.
Right.
And that apparently was their technique at the time, which has also been on Mythbusters. People were speaking about how to do it.
Yeah, they've had some sick archers on Mythbusters.
Rad fuckers.
Seriously good. And quick drawing guys. Mythbusters is long gone. We're sort of aging our podcast by being like, yeah, it's still around. I watched it.
It's not long gone. YouTube exists. It's always there.
Yeah. I love what Adam Savage is doing currently.
I don't know, what's he doing currently?
He has like a YouTube channel, he does all really cool stuff, yeah. Really cool stuff.
I'm just really sad that him and Jamie aren't friends in real life. That makes me sad.
Yeah, they really are not friends.
No.
Like, they really do not like each other.
I don't think they don't really like each other. I just think
they really don't like each other.
Don't ruin the illusion. That makes me really sad.
I know, me too.
Next you told me that the Asian guys would fucking carry.
She was a beautiful young lady.
Definitely fucking. Back to Mongols.
Mongols.
Okay, so that was kind of their bag. So that was this swarm of bees mentality and the idea that they would basically go through and...
They had numbers as well.
They did have... Well, they didn't necessarily start... They were vastly outnumbered, in fact, in a lot of their big wins.
Yeah.
Vastly outnumbered, yeah.
Well, that's a strange thing, isn't it? To be vastly outnumbered and win without tactics. Because usually... you win by tactics if you're vastly outnumbered.
So there was they
could have still done environmental tactics of flanking and things like that, but whilst also not being in formation.
Yeah, well, don't get me wrong. It wasn't untactical. They didn't just rock up and go, "Let's go, boys."
Bees.
No, it wasn't a savagery, but the idea was that you'd have priorities.
You wouldn't have a block to aim at.
No,
they'd be in the ranks fighting, and you wouldn't want to hit your own guys.
Yeah, it was almost like you remember like the old Pokemon game was like the turn-based system. That used to be how fighting used to be in formations. Like you send your first row, they send their first row. You send your second row, they send their second row, and then you've got real-time fighting all of a sudden joining that. So if you fought a turn-based guy and you were fighting real-time, you'd almost definitely win because you're reacting to something immediately and they're waiting for their turn. That's the comparison sort of between the two of it. That's sort of the tactics.
Okay.
So it would be like everything was happening on the basis of very skilled people that have literally been fighting since they were children or learning to fight since they were infants. against people that were, remember that scene in 300 where Leonidas rocks up and he speaks to the dudes and he goes, "Oh, you only want 300 men?" And he goes, "Oh, what's your profession?" "I'm a potter." "What's your profession?" "I'm a gardener." And then, "Spartans, what is your profession?" "Hoes." "See, my old friend, I bought more soldiers than you."
I don't know.
But the idea that he's bringing
I watched it once and
he's bringing
not very
300 professional soldiers and professional fighters and people that are fighters through and through, rather than people that, I don't know, might knock up a building on a weekend and now all of a sudden you've chucked a spear in his hand. And
it's
now
like you and MMA.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. Yeah. Why you had I have to do insurance and that. But what did you do the weekend? I guess I go in the cage.
Got punched in the face.
Yeah,
didn't he?
punched in the face.
Dan recently had his first ever and probably last ever MMA fight.
Maybe not last ever.
Well, you can still you can and should still compete in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's not stopping.
But jiu-jitsu is
Less
something
getting punched in the
that
face.
there's no getting punched. Well, yeah, I've taken more feet to the face than in jiu-jitsu than I ever did in kickboxing, which is funny.
Elbows and knees. So, hold up, sorry.
Honestly, I take
usually
foot
follow
to the
my.
face
You're right.
Yeah, because I go, "Whoa," and someone goes, because I've got their foot in my hand. I go, "Whoa."
So okay. It's
So
like,
my nose popped so good about
great.
2 weeks ago. I just went. I got a heel. A guy with short legs tried to armbar me, and when he put his leg over it, just went. Clunk.
Axe kicked you.
Yes,
Bang.
exactly.
Yeah.
An axe kick when my head's on the floor, an axe kick to the nose, and I just went.
So
I was like, "Oh, that's good, thanks."
See? And that's
I was like,
illegal in
"Have my
MMA.
arm."
You can't do that in MMA. Not on purpose.
Not on purpose. You can't do it in jiu-jitsu on purpose either.
But you can do it accidentally on purpose.
I do take a lot of feet to the face, unfortunately, but that's not the point that I was trying to make.
But Joe's going to take less of them now because he's got his first degree on his white belt now.
Yeah,
It's a bad man.
I have a degree, one whole degree.
One whole degree.
Yes. And you just got your first degree on your blue belt, which is awesome.
I did. Yeah, it's very cool. Big fan.
Spherical.
It's spherical. It's not. It's a bit of tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine immediately came off when I put my belt in the wash.
Oh, never wash it. Yeah, schoolboy error. You immediately demote yourself as soon as you wash it. Everyone knows if you wash your belt, the magic comes off. Don't
Otherwise the belt smells.
never wash your belt, or the magic will fall off.
Oh, I'd rather have no stripes than a smelly belt.
Yeah, no, you've got a gorilla glue. You got to gorilla glue the tape on.
I'm just going to buy some of that tape that they have for grading and just tape it up every
You can't
day.
just buy magic black belt tape. You can't just go to the shop and buy magical tape.
I'll rob up our jiu-jitsu school.
It needs to be put on by the black belt.
There is
rules.
definitely something special about being given it by your instructor. I do fully understand that. I might keep if the tape didn't actually come off, it just completely removed itself, but
I'm
still
just
stayed
shitting you.
there.
It's just tape, mate. Don't worry about it.
No, but I'm just going to keep putting the same bit of tape back on.
When you get when you get your belt promotion, keep that belt. Worry about keep the belt. Don't worry about fucking tape, mate. Like it's too much bother.
Well, I wash my belt, so the tape always comes off. But
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep
Read
putting it back. No, use the same bit of tape though. Just keep putting it back
What
on.
I'm saying is, don't.
No, I'm going to.
It's clearly finding much hassle.
Well, I'll just use black duct tape on my whole belt.
When you get your blue belt,
And that is-
you will
well,
realise
wait.
how fucking stupid this is.
I know, but if I use black tape on the whole of my belt, I can skip 10 years.
That's reasonable. Shit. Should I have thought that?
I could also buy a black belt for 15 quid.
Yeah, definitely could buy one.
You
of
could
those.
totally do that. There's no laws against it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But
not,
if you
no.
turn up with a black belt to jiu-jitsu when you're a white belt yesterday,
Fuck.
something's going to happen.
Genuinely, next year for April Fools, I might actually buy a black belt and turn up wearing it.
Alright, everyone's
I
going to
think that
fuck
might be
you.
really funny.
It'll be hilarious when you get destroyed constantly. Nesta's going to have fun with you.
Yeah,
Nesta and John.
completely ruined. I wonder if Paul would actually be offended by it.
No, I think he'd see it as a challenge and just go extra hard on you.
Yeah, he completely fucked me up.
That'd be
Shit.
fun as hell for everyone else, not
Yeah,
you,
that'd be quite
obviously.
funny. Yeah.
It'd be fun, just not for you.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
It would definitely give everyone else a good laugh.
Yeah, if I wear it and then I'll just give it to Paul and he would just give it over to him and say, yeah, use it for your next back battle promotion or something. Ugh.
It's a weird thing to do, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really weird thing to do. I'm not sure. I
don't know if we're in the world enough to make jokes like that.
I don't know if I'd ride the line between it being kind of funny and being massively fucking disrespectful.
Yeah. So
I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, I made a joke about them giving us black belts the other day, and a purple belt just laughed in my face. But he was the only one that laughed. No one else laughed.
So you stripe on your white belt for you, alright, mate.
No. Ali was like, "Oh yeah, we got you all presents." And I was like, "What black belts?" And only one purple belt just cracked up, and I was like, "Oh, was that not funny?"
I probably was.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think we're black belts. Yeah. I don't think that Ali's getting us black belts for Christmas. I'm not fucking crazy. Turns out, apparently they got black belts in them.
What?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Ali then turned around and went, "I'm not getting one, so it doesn't matter." Thanks, Ali.
Well, you should make shit jokes, should you?
Ow, my tooth.
Oh.
Right, Mongols.
Oh, we've got fucking off track, haven't we? You know what Mongols should drink? Mare's blood mixed with mare's milk.
There's not a lot of alcohol in that.
No, we ferment it.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah.
Sounds chunky.
Yeah, before fighting, it was literally just their entire diet was about their horse. They
like spraying them mouth silver.
No, it wasn't like Mad Max. No, it was their entire life was built around the horses. Everything was about the horses. The herd was bigger.
Didn't they have elephants at one point though?
I think you're thinking of Hannibal. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't think they roll with elephants.
But that's Asia, right? Hannibal was Asian.
Yes, yeah, but yeah, it was Indian elephants, yeah. But the Mongols went as far as fuck. Oh, it was like the cultural hub. What the fuck was it called? And he fucked those people up there. But where's the place? Oh, because was it Baghdad? Yeah, Baghdad. Yeah, I think it's Baghdad. Yeah. And that used to be like the cultural hub back in the day. That was like the city that was...
Well, that's like west from Mongolia.
Yeah.
Southwest.
Yeah.
But didn't you go like east into China? How far through China did you go?
Like all the fucking way.
Wow.
How
many provinces were there back then?
I genuinely couldn't tell you.
Right.
No, because I don't know if it was provinces. They had like
emperors,
didn't they, of each sort of area.
Province.
And of each province. But I think they were one of those things where borders were constantly shifting because armies were invading and being pushed back and invading and being pushed back.
Yeah, it was a big fucking country with a lot of resources.
Yeah.
And they had good things like food and stuff. You know? They had lots of resources as in they could feed armies.
Yeah.
Not like resources to trade or like
they created the Silk Road, didn't they? That was the whole...
Yeah, sure.
Different
from the dark web.
Yes, it's not the same as it's not like buying weed online. It's a bit different. Yeah.
Weed and child porn.
Yeah, weed, child porn, and plutonium.
Maybe I don't know what it's used for.
Yeah, didn't he get shut down? Did the guy that ran the Silk Road get put away?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
sure
I think I saw some documentary. I think I might have fallen asleep to a crappy documentary about it. I know nothing about the dark web at all. I mean, how do you access it? Isn't the dark web what the CIA started or something?
I think the dark web...
I don't mean it wasn't... They weren't like, hey, here's the dark web, but wasn't it like a separate sort of thing to the internet?
I've read stories
was in the CIA or something?
Oh, I don't know. From what my understanding, it's almost like... it's kind of what the internet used to be before everyone else gained mass access.
Right.
And it's all these sort of dark nooks and crannies in the alcoves.
Maybe. I don't know. We don't know enough about this to talk about it.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like
all I know is all the illegal shit you can get there. Maybe.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, if you want drugs, you can just walk down the road.
I've read a lot of things like Reddit and stuff like that, where it's like people that have worked out what was your experience with the dark web, and it's people saying they used to go to like gas stations and get cards that gave you. It was almost like signing up for it. You remember when like you used to get AOL way back in the day? We used to
free
have
AOL
discs.
We'd have free internet.
Yeah.
3 months internet.
And it was kind of like that. And you had to buy these cards that sort you out. And then when you logged in, you went into this almost like a shitty chat room thing.
Right.
And you would direct you from there. And
but what I mean is, it's like, it's not like, so that chat room wouldn't be hosted on the internet. It's a different part, right?
yeah, it's a privately part of it.
Yeah, but then anyone can run a private server.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do.
You buy a private server for about 120 quid now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's confusing. Technology's gone too far for us to go back and think about that now. You have a private server on a USB stick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stupid. Obviously you can't, but you basically will be able to in about 10 years.
I'm just like I can't wait to be a dad just to give my kids cassettes. Be like, yeah, what do you do with them? Enjoy.
Obviously put your tongue in the hole and go...
It's like it fits a pencil through the middle really well. Then you can turn it.
I just used my finger.
We are at a really strange point in history at the moment because we exist in this point where between analog and digital, and where we can remember VHSs, but we also are alive at the time where people don't remember VHSs.
Yeah.
And it's quite fun to be where we are at the minute. I feel like we've got a really good mix of both.
Well, we got a good mix if we want to take the piss out of people. For sure.
No,
hey, you don't know what this is? It's a fucking video.
I think we've got a good context. Because we understand sort of where it came from and what the idea, what the progression.
I used to have to rent video games because video games were £60.
Yeah, I remember getting I remember one Christmas. Me and my brother clubbed together our Christmas money and bought for £70 Donkey Kong 3 on the SNES. It was on a cartridge, which I'm pretty sure, and like in it was about 4 megs of fucking data.
Way less, man.
Yeah, that
less, dude. So much less. Or maybe about that, but that's actually probably quite accurate. But still, but
piss on me then say, yeah, probably right.
Well, I'm just thinking. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, most emails that I send to clients are about 400 meg per poster. If I'm going to send a poster off, it's probably going to be... I mean, if I optimise it and make it real fucking small, the best I can with all my abilities in about exporting to PDF, I could probably make it about an 80 meg file.
Right.
You know, 5 years ago we didn't even have USB sticks that big.
Yeah, 256k was mind blowing. Like that was a what? Shit! I can put 25 songs on this motherfucking thing. Hot damn! I'm gonna put my Discman in the attic.
I never had one of them.
I did not
anti-skip. Never had a mini disc.
Oh, I had a mini disc. No, a Discman was the like where you put a CD in. Mini disc was sort of in between.
Oh yeah, I had a cassette. A
Casapian.
I had a cassette player.
Yeah,
which apparently turns out to be a cassette in my brain.
I used cassette.
I had a cassette
players.
and CD, but I didn't have the middle one.
Oh, okay.
Which was like small floppy disks, wasn't it? Mini disc player.
That was after CDs.
Was it? Oh.
Yeah, because you could fit a few albums on a mini disc.
Could you? Oh.
That was before MP3s.
Yeah, I had cassette, CD, MP3.
Yeah.
My MP3 was 32 megabytes.
Yeah, I had 56, I just remember, yeah. I remember getting a 256 one once. I remember getting a 512 one, the first time I got a 512.
Well, that was like a big iPod. That was like the iPod Classic.
No, one was like a sausage roll. It was a really old one.
Or like a Siemens.
Yeah, one of those motherfuckers. And I had that. I was like, shit. And I just put all music on it. I remember like the transition from CD. Cause I went cassette player when I used to skate. I went cassette player when I was younger, CD player when I was a little bit older. Then I saved up for fucking ages to get a mini disc player. So they were fucking expensive. And it was like, yes, this is the fucking future. 100%. When I'm in my 30s, every
You're going to have these stupid
everyone's going to have
discs.
these mini discs. So this is a fucking investment. bought it for about fucking nearly 200 quid. The player for it.
Holy shit!
Smashed it in a month. Skateboarding,
Oh,
obviously.
Yeah. Well,
And then went back to a cassette for fucking ages.
Yeah.
Just because when I smashed it, I used to put it in my back pocket. I listened to it, and then obviously I'd record it off the radio or off other CDs and shit. And I'd land on it, but the fucking player would be fine. I'd just smash the actual cassette to pieces. So I'd land really hard on my ass, and I'd get up, and I'd open the and it would stop playing, and I'd press play, and it'd go, and I'd press play, and I'd keep pressing it, would stick in, and then I'd open it, and the fucking cassette would just have disintegrated into tiny pieces, and there'd be this fucking ribbon in it. And I was like, how has this even happened? All I've done is smash the shit out of the actual cassette. And I was gutted because it took me ages to record that fucking cassette. Both sides for 90 minutes.
You have to record it live.
Yeah, there's none of this fucking... Yeah.
This is very rude, I do apologise.
Worst fucking podcast host.
I'm so sorry.
Ever.
I'm so sorry.
Go.
I'm
But
going to turn my phone off.
yeah, then after that obviously went to MP3 players because they were actually a reasonable size.
Yeah.
And
I remember I got one that was like this big and it was like 12 megabytes. And then about a month later, my sister got one that was like this big, that was like 32 megabytes. I was like, how
the fuck? How
does this? I was like,
how
this
can music
witchcraft?
be so tiny?
Yeah. But that 32 meg, I mean, only held like what 6 albums or something.
Yeah. I know, so was.
But it's still mind blowing. But yeah, I remember when me and Caspian, when we first worked out that we could pay £1 per gig for a USB stick, and it was we bought a 32 gig USB stick each for £32, and now you can buy them for like £6.
Oh yeah,
32
no,
gig.
fuck all, yeah.
But obviously before,
You get
so
like
we in our lifetime, it got to the point where it would cost £1 per gig, and then it obviously, so before it used to cost thousands of pounds for a gig.
Yeah, for a gig was
Millions.
untold.
Millions.
And now we're
for a
looking at
gigabyte.
terabytes. And we're
Oh
like,
yeah,
what?
I've got at least 6 terabytes in my computer.
Yeah.
And that's not enough.
No, well, that's it. It's
so much data.
Yeah. You see those old pictures when it's like someone like the first
1
megabyte fucking
Yeah.
computer,
It's the
and
size
it's got like a crane.
It's
like,
the size
fucking
of a
hoiking
plane.
it in. It's enormous.
Straight up the size of a plane. Wait, they had to haul it in on a plane, and it's huge. It's quite impressive. Look at the first megabyte computer. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very fucking bold.
Was not good.
Genghis Khan was not thinking about this when he was busy fucking people up.
Sorry, this was local history we were talking about for a second there.
That's
Still
not
history.
local. Modern history.
Yeah, local. Quick.
Wasn't
Soon.
local history.
Soon, quick.
Local history is 1066 shit.
Oh, let's not do that.
Why not?
Boring.
Fucking
We live in
boring.
Hastings. Something happened with a guy and he got a shot in the eye.
No, he didn't. It's bullshit. There's no proof to say he got shot in the fucking eye.
I've seen the tapestry.
Oh, alright, in that case.
Painted on the wall.
Tapestry is real, for fucking sure. Bullshit.
Yeah, man. Same. It's just photographs, isn't it?
Photographs.
Just old photographs.
Oldie photographs. Ye oldie photographs. Bullshit. But, no, he definitely did. Well, he almost definitely did get shot. To get shot in the eye is some monumental fucking shit luck. Especially when you definitely weren't anywhere near a fucking archer at that fucking point.
Yeah, it sort of depends. If you're a guy in a crowd of about 200 people and there's
looking up,
and there's about 10,000 arrows flying towards you, you're probably gonna get shot in the eye and everywhere else.
Yeah.
But if you're a king in a war, probably not gonna get shot in the eye.
No, unlikely.
And so it was like an assassin, like a Legolas type dude who's just like, oh, okay, no bow or nothing.
No way. Just use the arrows just for lulz. Yeah.
I got your eye.
Yeah, it's almost entirely bullshit, but it's fine. Mate, I feel like we're getting too this. We should have had a structure for this. It's tricky.
You literally said you didn't want a structure.
I know, I did.
Structure?
I know. I feel like we've nipped from.
We went from
early 1900s to 1400s,
and that's it.
to
The Walkmans.
The Walkmans. That's back to the 2000s ish. and then a vague mention of 1066, and now
Walkman came out in 1980 something.
Oh yeah, but then we were talking about MP3s and shit. So
yeah.
Right.
No, MP3s are around the 80s.
We're definitely talking about 20.
I'm joking. Sorry, I'm
20,
not. I don't think that.
What?
I was just making it clear.
Do they not come out the 80s?
Shut up. MP80. Sounds like a gun. Well, what's your favourite gun from World War One?
That's a very specific question.
Okay.
Okay, I get the Luger. That's it.
Ruger?
Luger.
Which
Pretty
one?
sure Luger's a Pokemon.
Lugia.
Lugia,
It's a
yeah.
Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite a good one. It's a legendary one.
It was, yeah.
Second gen, though.
Yeah.
Third gen? Second or third?
Second gen. Go. Yeah, Luger. Probably that, I guess.
Do you mean a Ruger? What did it look like? Draw it in the air for me.
It's like a square, but it had a long bit.
That's a Pokemon. That's missing going.
I've never rated my World War One favourite guns, if I'm honest with you, Joe. That was a very tricky question, and I felt like I was on the spot.
Sure. Right. Okay. So we went from World War One and World War Two to the Mongols.
Yeah.
Let's get back to World War One and Two because it's a rich tapestry.
A rich tapestry, it is, yeah. I was saying when you were away, actually, I was saying I learned a lot of information from Dan Carlin's Hardcore History podcast.
Okay.
About World War One.
Never even heard of him.
It is fucking brilliant. He's an amateur historian apparently, but he ain't no amateur.
Right.
He knows his shit. And
you've done a degree as well.
Huh?
You've done a whole degree.
I did, yes, but not in history. In teaching history, it's kind of different.
Yeah, I guess it is actually.
Yeah.
It's a lot less to do with history.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, it's more about...
So stupid.
Yeah, it's mental. This is true what they say. Sort of
it's
like,
basically don't touch kids, teach them history. What else is there about it?
Yeah. Don't fuck kids, learn it the night before, then just tell them it. It's like, right, okay, well I feel like I've got part A down.
Took me 3 years for that, mate.
Yeah, it's a long
It
time.
took 3 years to learn how to not touch
really
kids.
Tired. Yeah. Well, at least I've tried to learn it, Joe.
And you're nailing it.
I'm doing really well at not doing that thing.
Yeah, well done.
Oh god, I don't want to record it because I feel like people could change our conversation.
Oh yeah, but no one cares. Plus, even if they change it, we still got the original.
Have you heard about that weird fucking thing like Photoshop for your voice?
Yeah.
It's fucking terrifying. They need some like 20
Yeah, it's
minutes.
pretty good actually.
The worrying thing is that they need 20 minutes of speech. And then
I thought it was even less than that.
I thought it was 20 minutes
It's like
of speech.
60 seconds or something. It's crazy scary.
I think it's definitely more than that. But
well, basically, they can take any historian, any person from history that's done a speech,
and make them say what you want.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's good. I like it.
That's why I didn't want to say the thing about the kids with the recording thing. But for sure, we've got more than 20 minutes recorded now, so we're all both fucked anyway, aren't we?
Yeah.
Ah, fuck it then. In that case, we're already screwed.
Well, no, I mean, yeah, the repetition. So basically, what you're talking about is there's a new. It's not new. It's just software that recreates a person's voice.
It's just getting really good.
It still does sound quite robotic. It still has that. It's sort of got like a compression-y sound to it.
Auto-tune-y sort of.
Yeah, almost like auto-tune, yeah. It's just basically compression.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know, but like natural compression on a voice sounds unnatural. Because the voice is so... It has so many different peaks and little bits and it goes all over the place. And to recreate something like that is actually very tricky. But yeah, the technology has come along vastly. It's very, very impressive.
Yeah.
It still does sound recreated. It sounds digital,
but only if you're listening for
but
it.
But it certainly can pick up all the patterns, the tones, all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
and yeah,
it's very, very impressive.
Mm.
This is becoming a technology podcast. We haven't done technology, have we?
Fuck it. Who gives a shit? We don't stay on topic anyway. No one gives a fuck. Your fucking history.
I think he's drunk. Well, I'll just talk for a minute.
Go on.
Fuck you, bitch. Still, I do try not to swear on these podcasts, and I do a terrible job. I swear so much.
When do you ever try? I've never.
This is me trying not to swear.
You're
honestly,
doing really badly.
I know. I'm terrible. I have a filthy mouth.
You're about as not sweary as I am sober.
Okay. Do you want to pour another one?
Yeah. See, not my fault. Being influenced by others. Clink!
Alright, thanks, Clink. Oh, cheers without drinking afterwards. It's bad luck.
No, Satan, do it one.
So, one of the most harrowing and life-changing experience I've ever had in my life was going to the Somme.
Ooh.
And Dunkirk and a load of places in northern and western France, yeah, where things like D-Day happened and a load of trench warfare, when
Versailles.
Versailles, yeah, when we started pushing back German forces in France, and there's there's bomb sites, there's trenches, and they're all very sort of hypnotic and ghostly, being in these places where hundreds of people died. Millions of people died. Hundreds of people died a day. And it's
thousands of people died a day.
Yeah, it was probably different on different days, but yeah. Clink. Okay. Oh, no ice! Come on, man, you heathen.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
It genuinely changed my life, but it wasn't just the places like the impact zones and the war zones and stuff. But we did spend time on the beach in Dunkirk, in the pillboxes where the Germans were, and you get to see the beaches that they would have seen that they were shooting down upon. It's very, very strange. But also the monuments, the 50 to 200 kilometres worth of just white crosses.
The white crosses, yeah.
Just millions and millions and millions of them, and beautifully kept grounds and amazing museums and all this stuff, and something that will stick with me for the rest of my life. I really want to go back there. I tell you this all the time.
Yeah, that's something I really want to experience. I really want to go to these places, and even going to stuff like something like the Holocaust Exhibit at the London History Museum.
You don't mean going to Germany?
No. I don't think I'd go to Germany. It'd be Poland. Go to Auschwitz or something like that would be something I'd really. I feel kind of twisted by saying it's something I'd really like to do, but it's definitely something it's an experience I feel like I want to have. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Auschwitz. I don't know if I'd like to go.
Even going to the Holocaust exhibit where they had like giant.
Is this in London? You said?
Yeah.
I've never even heard of it.
We went on for a while. I think up there for about 6 months, and it had like scale models of Auschwitz, recordings of people, of survivors, and giant, massive plastic containers full of shoes. Because one thing they used to do, obviously, once they killed them, they were bare feet when they sent them in, and they kept the shoes. And it was really fucking haunting, man. It was really.
Oh, so you've been to this exhibit?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
okay.
That's as close as I've got. I've never been to an actual site, but that was. Yeah, that was heavy. It was very, very, very dark.
It's just, I mean, imagine it's a similar thing with the shoes and the crosses. So you don't realise until it's laid in front of you.
Yeah. Each of these crosses represent a person.
Yeah.
Each of these pairs of shoes represent a person, a human that existed, like someone that had a life. It's it's fucking. It's perspectives are really weird thing to gain. But sometimes
yeah,
when
and
you
it's
see
not something you can necessarily teach or even teach yourself. It's sort of something, enlightenment, and like it just happens, doesn't it?
you can see a number on a sheet of paper, and it can say something like 6 million.
Yeah.
But that's too fucking vast. It's just too much to comprehend.
No, you can't. It doesn't register.
Yeah.
Oh, it can, sure, but as I said, there's loads of different things
Yeah.
that can actually make you go, oh right.
But if I walked through into a room with, I don't know, 800 pairs of shoes, that would register more to me than seeing the number 6 million on a piece of paper.
Mm.
So I know I can see this. And for some reason, if somebody's inane as a pair of shoes, it's a personal object. Those belong to people. Human feet filled those shoes.
That's
point.
definitely very haunting. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really. Yeah, it was very, very heavy and very.
Is that still up in London?
I don't think so. I think
was that like a travelling thing?
I think it goes on. I think it was on for 6 months or so.
Yeah, yeah.
But they tend to repeat it. It was a really fantastic exhibit actually. It went through.
If it's on again, we should go.
It went through World War One and Two. And there were lots of really good sort of like there was uniforms, ration books, diaries, a lot of really, really cool things up there. But yeah, that Holocaust aspect of it really, it really struck home. It was very, very dark.
Yeah, we haven't spoken about the Holocaust at all, despite talking about World War One and Two.
No, I think the Holocaust is one of those weird things that.
Genocide is always a difficult subject to approach.
I think it's the efficiency of it. I think it's
that is
one of the weirdest things.
Calling it efficient makes me feel sick.
I was the okay. Efficient might not be necessarily the right
That's
word.
a good word. It's an accurate word.
Yeah, it was a machine. It was a conveyor belt of human fucking murder.
Yeah, that's horrendous.
And I think that
makes me feel. That makes me have like a frog in my throat.
Yeah.
You know? It makes me feel fucking.
It was that it wasn't seen as killing people. It was just seen as destroying things that needed to be destroyed. Like fuck knows. You see in like tips like junkyards, tips and things like that. Things going through the compactor, the crusher.
The end of Toy Story 3.
Yes, I had that in my fucking
Best
mind.
analogy.
Yeah.
For genocide ever.
Oh, God, we're not going to be able to put this one up, are we?
What? We're not saying anything wrong.
No, it's just so hard to, because it's such a sensitive subject.
It's all fucked up. We're not saying it's not fucked up.
It was. It was. Yeah, fuck.
Right, we should move on then.
Yeah,
we can't say anything.
I don't really know what much to say about it. I mean, obviously it was fucking horrendous. I suppose
but everyone knows that though, don't they? We don't need to talk about
the interesting, fucking horrendously, morbidly interesting side of things. That I think is the fact that the people that were doing it weren't necessarily
bad people,
evil.
Yeah. They're following orders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like the idea. Fuck, I'm trying to be really careful with the way I'm saying these things.
It's okay. No one's judging you, man.
No.
It's a hard thing to.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. It's really interesting.
It's
to
hard.
Think about.
When you're trying to put out a sentence, you also have to dance around the words that make it sound like you don't have a problem.
I'm clearly not trying to make it sound like I think it was okay. I don't think it was a good thing that occurred, but I think that some aspects of it are interesting to me. They get my I am interested in it, and I think the human aspect of it and the way that people did these things and the way that people look retrospectively back at it, and they go, "Oh, I'd never fucking do that," something like that. It's like, fucking wouldn't you though? Wouldn't you? Because these people that are you saying that every single person that did that is inherently evil? Do they necessarily know what they were doing? And this sort of
a lot of people in the death camps did live though.
Yeah, well, yeah, but not a lot of them. They're called death camps.
Yeah. No, I've heard first-hand accounts of the death camps, and there's something that you shouldn't look up.
Yeah.
There's something that I don't even want to repeat.
Yeah, it's not a very chirpy Friday afternoon sort of viewing. Well,
no, genuinely, don't look up about first-hand accounts of the death camps.
No, fuck you. Do.
Don't
fucking do it. Appreciate your fucking life.
Or do that. Yeah, okay, fair. Appreciate the time that we live in, because it's just
yeah.
I do.
We live in a world where people wouldn't fucking complain about having the wrong gender bathrooms. We're doing all right. Fucking bullshit. Does my head in.
But I do. Yeah, I do wake up every morning and look at my computer screen and just go like, I'll just put on a song and I'll just go. It's just fucking incredible the fact that a song is playing out of these things that are connected to this thing that's connected to this other thing that goes anywhere in the world.
It's all just magic that we kind of know a bit about now.
Yeah. People cleverer than us.
50 years ago, this would have been fucking witchcraft.
100%.
They would have said, fuck it, bring back the witch trials, you're all getting burnt at the stake, you're all mad cunts. Things in your pocket, fuck you, how are you talking to someone in Australia? Oh, that's the internet, fuck off, killing you.
The internet trials of,
of
1999.
You've all been fucked up, you've been done.
AOL.
What do you mean not dial up? Fuck off, bang! All completely shit up, completely done.
Oh.
And the fact that this has all happened in like 30 years, well, 40 I did.
30, 50.
The internet 40 years ago was fucking bullshit. It was barely a thing. Everyone basically gave up on it.
The internet until about 6 years ago was barely anything.
Yeah. I remember getting broadband when I went to William Parker in 1999, and that was...
You had broadband in 99?
Yeah, Parker we did, yeah.
I didn't have broadband until I was 21.
I didn't even have a fucking computer at home until I was like 15.
Yeah, I didn't have proper internet until I was about 21.
I remember trying to connect my PlayStation 2 through Ethernet to the
I didn't have my Dreamcast, mate. Yeah.
I did it, and I was like...
This sucks.
Yeah, this is...
Well, the Dreamcast was dead then. There was no community at all.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
That's pointless.
Yeah, I used my... it wasn't... Yeah, it was bullshit. But... yeah, well, either way, look up that shit that Jojo said.
Don't. Honestly,
do it.
don't.
Fucking do it, you can't. You need a perspective. Not you personally, but maybe you personally.
Maybe you personally. Fuck. No, I don't even want to regurgitate the information that I've ingested.
No, but
I don't want to, but
you should. It's all history and it's all good shit because we learn from it. And we learn from our fucking shitty mistakes. Or we fucking should do anyway. Unfortunately, mistakes tend to be repeated a lot.
Yeah, I think globally, but maybe not personally. I mean, I don't know, but you know, everyone that I'm friends with is a decent fucking person. Majority. I don't mean you're all great in every way. You know.
No,
you fucking horrible cunts. You kill animals and you eat them and shit.
Yeah, well, I don't kill any animals, but yeah, I do eat them.
That just makes you a pussy.
Huh? Don't get me wrong, I'll punch a badger, like, bam!
What?
Not on purpose, but if it came at me.
Armbar a badger.
I can't armbar a badger, it's little arms. Like, arm triangle a badger.
Okay, for sure triangle, and they got big necks.
Not triangle, arm triangle.
Yeah, I know, but
I'd never armbar a badger, Joe. I can promise you one thing, buddy. There's not a lot of things that I can promise in life, but I tell you one thing, mate.
That's the thing, look.
At no point will I ever armbar a badger.
Okay, man. Every now and again,
That's on the record.
Every now and again, I want to fucking
just remind me.
Rear naked choke your dog.
Don't. Yeah, sometimes I'll dance my dog.
Yeah, I'll get him in a guillotine, but then he's like, nah.
Yeah, he doesn't have it. He doesn't like it. He pulls his head straight out.
He'll stamp right on my dick every single time.
Absolute dick stomp, but yeah, I will punch that dog.
I get him the guillotine and he's like, no.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
No. He looks at me like, why did you do that? I didn't put it on, obviously.
No,
well,
yeah.
I'm not a
Clearly,
sick bastard.
Like, yeah.
I just hold his head.
Yeah. Yeah, just every now and again I'll do that. Sometimes I sweep my arm under just to let him know that the dast is there. I need to defend better. It's a learning curve. It's not my fault he's a little bitch.
Yeah,
If
thanks,
you came to
Lou.
fucking
Thanks,
lessons-
Lou.
Yeah.
I'm joking, I like you, Lou. You're alright.
Yeah, you're alright, you can stay. I'll allow it. But yeah, every now and again you've got to threaten the dast. Just throw it in there.
To the dog or me?
Huh? Oh, you don't threaten the dast, you do dast you.
You've never dasked me, but I'm sure you will next time we roll. Now.
Yeah, and it's not going to be up to you whether I do it or not.
Fuck no.
Just
I have no idea what's happening until I'm like, oh god. And I've got no arms to tap with, that's the problem.
That's my favourite thing about the dast. You do it and people like, you put your arm around there and all of a sudden your arm's under the chin and they're like, hang on, this is a weird position. That's my favourite. Other than the things I've mentioned that are already my favourite, this is probably my third favourite thing.
I got a lot of favourites too, man.
Yeah, it's a big fan. We haven't spoken about history. Let's go about history of Jiu-Jitsu.
I have no idea.
Oh, really? Maybe this should be another podcast.
We could stick it in now.
Yeah?
Sure. Well, basically, we just went to a seminar on Sunday. Well, it's actually the Sunday before. Well, no, it was just last Sunday.
Yeah.
Which was Mauricio Gomez, who is the only coral belt in the UK, correct?
Yes, he's the only coral belt in the UK. And
he's the guy who gave our professor his black belt.
Yep.
And basically, I'd never even fucking heard of him.
Mauricio Gomez is one of the.
That's not because I think. That's not because he's not well known. That's because I know fuck all about jiu-jitsu.
Mauricio Gomez is one of the the famous five, which is the 5 people that were promoted to black belt by a chap called Holes Gracie. Holes was the brother of Helio. Sorry, son of Helio. And who died.
Helio was the only 10th degree? 11th degree.
No, it was Carlos. His brother. Carlos was the originator of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Who learned it from Matsumeda, the Japanese Jiu-Jitsu.
And that's the lineage we are trained under, right?
Gracie.
Carlos Gracie.
No, Carlos Gracie Jr. Yes, that's Gracie Bar lineage.
Yeah.
We're on our lineage.
But it's all Baja. It's all Gracie lineage.
Technically, our lineage is Mauricio. Through Holes, because that's who Paul was given his black belt by.
Oh yeah, obviously.
So that's our lineage.
But what I mean by lineage is Baja lineage, because there's so many different Gracie Jiu-Jitsu schools.
Baja isn't our lineage. Baja is the style that we're learning and the school that we're learning under.
That's what I would say lineage. That's what I would call lineage.
That's not what lineage is.
I know, I understand, but that's what I would call lineage.
Okay, you're wrong.
I'm not wrong. It's just a different way of calling lineage.
But I don't know.
Lineage is
I
bloodline.
call blue thing brown. That doesn't mean it's still brown.
What?
I said I call something blue brown. Doesn't mean it's brown.
Yeah, you're not a brown belt.
No, that's not.
It is.
I
He thinks it's a brown belt. Gets a couple of dances. He thinks it's a fucking brown belt.
All the dances. I get dances. I get neck cranks.
I've done 2 taps in my entire career.
Done 2 taps.
Done 2 taps.
2 taps.
Done 2 taps.
So about taps, mate. About the taps that you do. You tap a lot.
Yeah, I tap at least 50 times per lesson.
That's definitely not true.
Really?
50 times a lesson?
Dude, toll is quick.
The lesson's like an hour and a half and you're rolling for maybe 20 minutes of that.
Yeah. Well, I tap a lot during drilling too.
Oh yeah, but you've got to do... Doing drilling's kind of a given thing because you're giving them the technique. And you're just tapping to acknowledge.
Yeah, I think I count them though.
Yeah, you're tapping to acknowledge they're doing it right.
Yeah.
No, that's not really...
And not resisting 100% like those guys that do that. Yeah, right.
I know, I'm a bad person.
You're not like that at all.
I definitely do sometimes.
No.
Sometimes I will
Not with me.
absolutely resist 100%.
What? In drilling?
No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. Sometimes, yeah, depending on the technique, especially footlocks. I'm stubborn because I want my reputation to remain intact.
I've never done no gi, so I've never done footlocks.
You footlocks in gi?
We've never done footlocks.
Oh, it's just because you haven't done it yet. Doesn't mean you never do footlocks. You're on your heels.
It's more of a no gi thing, though.
Well, yeah.
In our syllabus, right?
Yeah. But yeah, Paul makes it up every now and again. You might see. You don't do a lot of like.
I've only been there for like 3 months.
Yeah.
I've not been there for a long time.
Bear in mind, it's like it's an 18-month syllabus. So
is it right? Eventually I'll
you won't have seen the
hit
entire
footlocks.
thing yet, mate.
Yeah,
you'll get footlocks. Straight ankle locks probably. For your first one, maybe toe holds.
Cool.
Oh, I'm saying that. I don't get a lot of toe holds. I don't actually remember going to a toe hold lesson. I just learnt toe holds by grabbing toes and twisting them. So someone went, whoa!
I thought that was illegal. Isn't that a small joint?
Toe holds? No. You don't twist the toes. It's just called a toe
Just
hold.
hold the toe and twist the ankle.
It's an ankle lock.
Yeah.
And it fucking sucks a dick if you do it properly.
Well, I just remember before I started jiu-jitsu, like a while ago, when Max would be fucking with me when we're drunk, because we'd get drunk and like 3 a.m. he'd just take me down and just wrap me up.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, right, no small joint manipulation. I'd be like, well, the only way I can stop you right now is to break your fingers.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, come on.
Yeah.
So I learnt that before I went to jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, wait, no small joint manipulation. No,
but I did have to. Okay, I took my friend, who's a high-ranking kung fu.
Oh fuck yeah! How did he like it?
He loved it. He absolutely loved it. It was
right.
It fucked him up because he's been a dad for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So he's basically done nothing but
try to keep children alive.
Roll around with the kids on the floor.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, it'd probably be good because I've spent a lot of time rolling around the floor. And I was like, yeah, sure, it'd be fine. Instantly knowing that. I was like, I knew in the back of my mind that it's gonna fucking kill you. But I was like, but obviously, because of that, because of how difficult jiu-jitsu is, it gives you that huge high.
Yeah.
And he loved that high so much.
Oh, sweet. Oh, that's rad.
But yeah, he loved it.
Oh, sweet. Well, he can take my jacket like, if he wants to go again. No, it's fine.
Yeah, well, he said he wants to, but he's not sure if he can afford the
it's not a cheap game.
subscription.
Yeah. Oh, don't speak to Paul so we can do a daily thing. I feel like this was definitely more of a personal conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I did have something to say, but I forgot it. And you asked me, oh, do you like it? And I was like, yeah, he loved it.
You're going to edit this.
No, I can't bother. I said at the beginning and the end, and everything else in the middle is up to you if you listen. And you don't, because there's only none of you. Oh, I love me.
Hey, I was saying.
Oh, I need a wee again.
Alright. Mate, shall we call it quits?
No.
No, we're going to carry on talking.
We can do more.
Alright, we can do more. What do we do more about? Alright, sweet. So, history. Have you ever seen that fucking show? It's on, I think Comedy Central do it, and it's called Drunk Histories. It's fucking brilliant, and I feel like we were almost sort of ripping it off in what we're doing. Basically, they get comedians, some like pretty famous ones, some ones that are pretty well known, that you'll see on stuff like Live at the Apollo and shit like that, and like Russell Howard's show and all that bullshit. And it's narrated by Jimmy Carr, so obviously Jimmy Carr's pretty well known as far as comedians go, and they will give them a historical tale. So, say, I don't know, the tale of Anne Boleyn, one of Henry VIII's wives, or the biography of William Churchill, or something like that, and they'll make them explain it when they're really shit-faced. And it's fucking entertaining. They put it down on the bottom of the screen. This is the person who's talking to you, and they'll give you that information, and they'll say then how much they've drank. And it's always like, fucking, if it's the UK version rather than the American version, it's very, very different. You can tell by the difference in drinking culture, because the UK one is always like 7 tequila slammers, 4 gins, 12 pints of lager, and they're currently cracking their way on for a big old bottle of fucking wine or something. And the American version is always like, oh, 1 Red Bull and vodka and 1 glass of Heineken or some shit, and they're battered. And it's fucking amazing to watch. It teaches you a bit, but it's very much a watered down version of history. Talking about drunk histories. Do you ever watch it?
No.
It's fucking brilliant. It's at the risk of repeating myself.
Is it more concise than this?
Huh? Oh yeah, 100%.
Huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Perfect response.
Yeah. Comedians telling history stories when they're really shit faced. It's really fucking entertaining, and they've got a lot of quite complex and potentially quite dull stories on there, but they're really funny because the people that are telling them are funny people.
See, that's the problem with us. We're unfunny people telling unfunny stories.
But drunk.
No, we are drunk.
We are definitely drunk.
I think that would make us at least a little bit. I've forgotten the words. There you go. Doesn't even matter. Who gives a fuck?
I'm just the worst at talking. Good.
Yeah, maybe we should wrap it up then.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk that much. You didn't teach me anything. Well, we spoke about Mongols.
No, I've got nothing to teach.
You did a degree in history. Teaching.
I know nothing.
To be fair, it was to primary students.
Yeah.
Are they called students?
Children, I suppose, would be the accurate term.
When did you become a student?
Well, you are a student. If you're at any point you're learning something, you're a student.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, primary students, yeah. It's just any degree of knowledge is better than nothing, which is where they're starting from. You've only got to be 1 step ahead to be a teacher.
So that's why you went for primary children, students.
Yep.
Easier to be a step ahead of people.
Nothing. They don't know shit. I'm pretty sure I know more than nothing.
Me too.
No, Mr. Young, what about the Vikings? They see the Vikings, they had the fucking helmets and that. Oh, with the big horns. As a matter of fact, they didn't have big horns, but they did have glasses underneath the side of them. Then what they do? They fucked everything up, Jimmy. They fucked everything up. Could be a wonderful teacher.
He's not.
I'm not. Right, we're out. This is Audio That's Too Stupid. Bye.
This is another really short podcast, you know that, right?
How short?
An hour and a half.
That's definitely not that short.
The last time it was an hour. So yeah, this one's longer than that one.
Yeah.
I know, but we used to do them like 3 hours long. What happened to us, man?
But I think the only things that we have really a lot to talk about. Shit like
Science.
UFC and science. Was science on one?
Yeah, man.
Okay.
This guy.
That's because I think you actually research shit and have stuff prepared.
Yeah, I know, I'm good.
I've done neither of those things. What I've done...
Yeah, we started strong.
...is got a bit drunk before I turned up here.
A bit drunk. You can barely see. I can't even... Your eyes aren't even looking the right way. They're like this. I mean, my eyes are already like that, but yours aren't usually.
And I'm the expert.
Alright. Love you. And love you too.
Love you. Clink.